Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another check-in day. Now look, I didn't give you as much of a heads up about this one as I normally do, but this was really last minute. We were looking into another off-property location at an affordable price. We found one, and so we didn't waste any time. We just booked it. So we're headed there now. It's a less than beautiful day, but that's okay. It's this time of year. Lots of rain this time of year in Florida. Nonetheless, we're making our way there now, but first, a quick stop at the grocery store, Publix to be specific, because we're gonna grab some dinner. We're going for the pub sub. If you haven't heard about these, goodness, you are missing out, because pub subs are very delicious. And they're somewhat affordable. They're a great option, especially on a day like today, a check-in day, to order them online. You can order them through the Publix app and then go pick them up and just bring them back to your room. So like really quick, really easy, good size meal. Anyway, that's what we're doing right now. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this hotel that we're staying at. So join us. Oh, and Russ is with us today.
Yeah, chauffeur.
It'll be fun. He's always got a task. All right, we got our pub subs. Now we're making our way down 192 to the hotel. It's a Wyndham. It's the Wyndham Orlando Resort and Conference Center, if I remember the whole name correctly. This is an interesting choice. It's one that is in a different area. Recently, all of the off-property locations and kind of off-property adjacent locations have been close to Disney Springs. So I wanted to try a bit of a different area, and so that's why we're headed here today. This is going to be closer to Animal Kingdom. It's also on 192, which, if you're familiar with Florida and tourism, this is like the Strip here in Florida, or at least here in Central Florida. I will admit it's a bit of a rougher strip, and I do want to talk about it a little bit more some other time and dig into why I feel that way. But aside from just some rundown areas and some not great hotel options which are on that strip, it's also just, well, just look. Now currently, it's just after 4 o'clock, so it's not like it's necessarily rush hour. You could argue that it isn't, but it's gonna be slow moving. And that's one of the things that has me wondering about the location of this particular resort slash hotel, whatever you wanna call it. Is the location going to be heavily impacted by the traffic on 192, and how is that going to impact your vacation if you're staying here? Great question. We're going to have to figure that out as we go, but I will say that we do have quite a ways to go, probably about 10 more minutes down the road, and a lot of that will be heavy traffic, mainly because there are also so many other hotels in this area. So very popular area to stay, very popular area for like affordable and budget accommodations. So I don't know, is this the type of place that you'd be looking at? Have you ever stayed in this area before? Tell us in a comment. But for now, we're just gonna wait it out, I guess. All right, we made it to the room. We did a quick room tour, and now it's time to eat. But I wanted to show you our pub subs because I'm sure you're wondering about pub subs. We talk very highly of them, and I think a lot of people do. So we have 2 separate ones tonight. We're gonna split them. They're both, well, they both sound delicious, so let's show you. So we have a spicy falafel, which, I mean, looks amazing. And then over here we have a chicken bacon ranch, which I believe is also spicy because that's what the receipt said. I think it said that they only had spicy chicken. So 2 spicy sandwiches tonight. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yep.
Well, I don't know about you, but I thought that those pub subs were delicious. We tried the new falafel one, which, I mean, I'm sure there's better falafel out there, but I thought it was a really good change, like a nice, just something different. I think it was what, $7?
$6.50 and $7.
But anyway, before we wrap this check-in day vlog up, We wanted to touch base with you just briefly about the experience of getting here and just some of our initial thoughts. Of course, we're gonna do a room tour as well as a review of this resort here soon on the channel, so subscribe so you don't miss it. But just kind of initially, I mean, it's rough getting here.
First of all, you didn't ask if I actually like the pub subs. I actually really enjoyed them.
Hold on. Oh, beloved. How doth you like the pub subs?
Doth was scrumptious, quite satisfying. I shall request some more upon the morrow. No, it was really good. I like them both. The falafel, my only problem with the falafel, it was like falafel side, vegetable side.
Yeah, I really needed to squeeze it in.
I kind of squished it and then I force fed it into a single bite.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so talking about this area.
Getting here. That's what we were talking about before I was so graciously corrected.
Okay, so you have two options for getting here. 192 and 192. You laugh.
You're not wrong.
You laugh, but it's true. You have 192 and 192. Or you have to cut through Disney, which still drops you off on 192 before you get into this area. Pretty much it throws you into a choke point, and you just merge in with the rest of 192. It's standstill traffic.
It's a lot.
It's rough.
And I think the unfortunate part of this, so everyone has a different style when it comes to getting where they're going. For me, one of the things that I like to do, especially if I'm going to be in a really heavily trafficked area, is I like to look for places where I can stop and pull off. So maybe like, you stop over here, you grab a coffee, and then you drive an hour down the road and stop over there and grab dinner or whatever. This area doesn't have as much of that as you would think. Like it does, because it's a very touristy area, but it's a lot of tourist trap stuff. It's a lot of, I don't know, just, it's not an easy place to be like, oh, we'll just pull off until the traffic dies down. Also, the traffic is not gonna die down.
No, and I think that's the thing is the traffic one does not die down. You got the quick pull-offs for drinks and food and gas and all that stuff, but you need to know where it is you're going and plan for it, because it comes up really fast.
It's city traffic.
It is, and like I was just about to say is, if you're on the opposite side of those lanes, you have to cut your way across 3 lanes of traffic to get there. Or if you need to get on the other side, you need to bust the UE, which you may or may not even be able to do based on the signs. So you're just going all the way down and then having to backtrack all the way back.
It's a lot.
It's a rough strip right now, and it's old.
It is.
It's very dated. There are further away from the celebration, going the opposite direction. It's starting to build up nice. You got the Margaritaville area, and then you have the fun spot, and you have all that stuff that is newer, and it shows. There's definitely a difference. Where this hotel is, there isn't much.
It feels very tourist trappy in this area.
Yeah, there really isn't much around in this direct vicinity, and to get anywhere, it's rough. There's nothing else to say.
But beyond that, and I know that does take up like a whole chunk of what we're talking about right now, but it's kind of a big thing. Location is so important when you're vacationing, especially when you're doing like Walt Disney World, where you're going to be going back and forth. Here are some other little first impressions that we got of this resort. First and foremost, I really hesitate to call this a resort. More of a conference center than a resort. It definitely feels big when you step in the lobby, like it feels like big and sprawling. So that's interesting. There is a Pizza Hut, like an actual, kind of feels like a mall Pizza Hut. And then there's a Starbucks in here as well. So it's not just like a little kiosk. It's a full, well, not full size, but a full mall size Starbucks and Pizza Hut.
There's like 7 or 8 dedicated right up front parking spots for Starbucks pickup.
Yeah, it's an actual Starbucks in here. So there's that. But there were some downsides. We're gonna talk about it in the review. I did the virtual check-in, like virtual assistant check-in, which was an interesting experience. You were at a kiosk talking to someone who presumably wasn't here. And that was hard. Easy, but hard to understand because it was really like muffled, like imagine being on a Skype call or something. That's what that was like. And then immediately a sales pitch for a timeshare, like right after I checked in. It was the most annoying thing. I don't know. It just really rubbed me the wrong way.
I didn't like any of it.
Yeah.
I don't like virtual kiosks. I like people.
Well, I like people too, but I did want to give it a try so I could tell you guys about it, honestly.
No, yeah, totally.
But
I agree 100% with what you're saying with regards to your experience. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Either way. But to literally grab the key out of the kiosk and turn around, figure out where your room is, because you couldn't ask the kiosk lady.
Well, we did know what room number, but we didn't know where it was in the building.
Yeah.
And in fact, the woman who was like, oh, just come right over here, I thought she was going to assist us. Like, she made it seem like she was like, oh, we'll give you a map, show you where you are. But no, it was like immediately into this really schemy sales pitch. Didn't like it, but those are our first impressions of this resort. Check-in day. We got a lot to say about this one, so
It's an experience.
make sure, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Also, hit that like button if you haven't already. But for now, we're gonna take off.
Just buy a pub sub.
Thanks for watching.
Buy the pub sub.
Goodness gracious, will you get a pub sub already? We'll see you in the next one. You can tell us all about it.
Bye.
Bye.